Okay, so today we're doing the Odyssey background. It's pretty simple. It's going to be pretty quick class. I told you as we would be going over like what happens before the Odyssey because Odysseus, is in more than one story. So you go ahead and, excuse me, go into Wednesday and pull up this, and then pull up whichever one's easier for you, either the PowerPoint or the Google. I'm going to use the PowerPoint. And then it's going to look like this. So you have this page and this page. So today we're going to do this one together, and then you're going to use the information I give you and then rewrite it into sort of like a mini summary, like first what happened, then what happened, then what happened, then finally what happened. And you're using the information from the background information that I'm giving you and just rewriting it in your own words. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first sentence says, the legendary war between the Greeks and the city of Troy was caused by the abduction of Helen, wife of Greek king Menelaus, by Paris, a Trojan prince. So let's go ahead and fill that in. The legendary war between the Greeks and the city of Troy was caused by the abduction of Helen, wife of the Greek king Menelaus, by Paris, who was a Trojan prince. Then, bent on revenge, the Greek kings gathered their men and ships and set sail to Troy. So we're going to put right here, bent on revenge. The Greeks were led by Agamemnon, Agamemnon, and he was the king of Mycenae, who was brother of Menelaus. So his army comprised the finest warriors, including Odysseus. Remember, up here it says that they get all the kings together. And yesterday I told you that Odysseus is a king. So it's kind of like what happened is this prince decided that he wants to snatch the wife of a Greek king. And so all the Greek kings get together, including Odysseus, to go and fight the Trojan War because a Trojan prince stole Helen, who was married to Menelaus. All right, the war dragged on for year after year. Many brave deeds were done and many champions died, but both sides were too proud to end the fighting. One of the war's most decisive battles was between Achilles, a Greek champion, and Hector, champion of the Trojans. And you guys have probably heard stories about Achilles champion of the Trojans. Achilles won and triumphantly dragged the body of Hector around the walls of Troy. Later, we're not reading about Achilles much, but see how like Achilles is in this one. Later, Achilles dies, and the only reason he dies, excuse me, is because he has his one weakness. Just like when you guys were doing your research last semester, and Achilles' weakness is the Achilles heel, that back part of your heel. Once someone's able to get that part of him, then they can get the best of him. Well, Hector didn't know that. Um, so even though Hector was massive and giant and everything, he still lost. So with no end in sight, the Greeks turned to their most cunning leader, Odysseus. Remember yesterday we talked about what they are famous for as far as being an epic hero? Cunning meaning sneaky, sly. He suggested that the army build a giant wooden horse and hide a group of armed men within it. And that's why I have the picture of that wooden horse on my amusement park. The rest of the men should hide out of sight of the walls of Troy and wait. So what it, oh, never mind. We're going to talk about it in a second. The Trojans assumed that the large wooden horse that the Greeks had left behind was an offering to a god. They dragged it inside the city walls. At night, the men hidden inside the horse crept out and opened the gates to the rest of the Greek army. Troy was utterly destroyed. So you might have seen some kind of version of this in something that you have read or watched on TV or a movie, but the original story is right here. It's all about the Trojan horse. When King Menelaus found his wife Helen, he was on the verge of killing her until Odysseus pleaded for her life. With her lover Paris long since dead, Menelaus forgave her and took her back to Sparta. So, again, Odysseus is a major part of this story, and it's why he's already revered before anybody had a chance to read or hear about the Odyssey. So, with his wife Helen, Odysseus pleaded for her life. With her lover Paris, oh my goodness, long since dead, Menelaus forgave her and took her back to Sparta, which is where they lived. Now, remember, Odysseus is over here in this place fighting. He's in Paris, not Paris, France. I'm sorry, Paris is the name of the boyfriend. He's at Troy right now. So when this story ends, it's exactly where the Odyssey picks up. It's his way home after he's fought in this Trojan War. All right, I'm going to zoom out just for a second to give you guys a chance to take a screenshot if you need to. All right, so reread this And then you're going to come and do the second part on your own. All you have to do is go through the events that we just went through and fill in what happened. But I want you to put it in order like this, like if you were doing a summary. So first this happened, then what happened because of this, then what happened because of this, then finally what happened. And I want you to rewrite at least 2 sentences for each box, but take this information and put it in your own words here. I do not want you just copying and pasting. I want it in your own words, and it only has to be 2 sentences each box.